What is going on, everybody? It's lunchtime, and it's Wednesday, meaning we are cooking up Cajun with Cory Leonard. What's going on, man?
Same stuff, different day, brother man. Same stuff, different day. Got my coaching in early this morning. Had some strict weighted pull up work and some I don't know what the actual name of the workout is. I just kind of christened it cardio hell because echo biking, running, and rowing.
As Justin Wilson used to say, how y'all are?
Hey, look at
that. I used to love watching him when I was a kid.
I used to watch way more of that than I like to admit. It was always funny to me because he didn't sound like anybody I know, and I grew up as coon-ass as you can possibly imagine. And I just always thought that he sounded funny to me. And I know I sound funny to everybody else.
Right. Like you're halfway in the bayou. He was the whole way.
No, I'm not halfway in the bayou. Believe what I'm telling you. Like I got home from school one day. This is not a made-up story. This is an actual thing. I got home from school one day, and there was about an 8.5-foot alligator on the road right behind my mom's house. Mom's house is here. Road goes through, basically cuts actually through the swamp. Goes back to some like camps and stuff like that. Leads out to Lake Barrett. And there was about an 8.5-foot alligator sunning itself on the road. And there was a dude in a truck trying to go down the street, and the alligator was just sitting there looking at him like, I ain't moving, bro.
Lynn noticing a little grooming.
Yes, ma'am. Got my hair did this morning. I mean, my birthday's tomorrow, and it's Easter this weekend, so I figured it's a good time as any.
Birthday tomorrow. What number are we hitting?
48.
48.
We'll be 48 on the planet 40. So I'm in year 48 of not making the games.
All right, man. As long as you make it in the next 2 years, you've met your goal.
100%. 100%. Dude, I don't. So it's funny Andrew says that, but the dude Troy Landry from Swamp People actually went to high school with my mom. That's a real thing.
Yeah. You are authentic.
I don't get much more. Don't get much more. I ain't never hunted alligators, but I have run crawfish traps and crab traps and set nets and all of the things. I can do all of that.
So which ones? What? I don't know.
I have no idea
I don't know what Jay Birch is saying. But hey, Jay Birch, welcome. Andrew, Lito, Lynn, Andrew, Helson, Jody, man, they're all here. My one encounter with an alligator is when I was living in Tallahassee, Florida, which is right across the Gulf from New Orleans.
Yep.
It was very common to be on a golf course and see a gator.
Oh, yeah.
Very common. And then we had this place called Wakulla Springs, which was this really deep spring, like 150 feet deep. And it was crystal clear water. National Geographic has gone back into the spring to try to find like the source of it. They've never been able to find it. They found new species of fish back in where there's no light. Like the fish had no eyes. Just wild stuff, right? And then out in where it empties out into, it formed a river. And so the gators are all along the banks of that river. And then it is full of mullet fish. Have you ever seen a mullet fish?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
They jump out of the water quite high, like into the boat. But they have like a fin that looks like a mullet. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're called mullet fish.
Make good bait.
Yeah. The other thing the other thing that I cannot, the gators I was fine with.
Yeah.
The snakes hanging from trees, different story. Completely different story.
Hanging from a tree. Like if you see an alligator and it's just chilling where it's supposed to be, then that's not a big deal. If you see a snake, it's not necessarily, not expecting to be hanging from a tree. And alligators, for the most part, will leave you alone if you are not messing with them. They don't, if you leave them alone, they will leave you alone. Snake hanging from a tree, that's not necessarily the case because if they fall or if you happen to see that and get stamped and it kind of slithers and all of a sudden it's just coming at you from the air, which is not what you would expect from a snake.
Every time I come into this basement, man, I get one little dry spot on my throat. Every time. So when my family would come down from the north, we would take them to this place to show them the alligators because they don't get to see them in the north.
Right.
And one time we were there and there's an alligator just kind of swimming in the river as they do. And a couple deer came down to get a drink of water.
Ooh.
And all of a sudden that alligator picked up speed. And I thought for sure my whole family was going to see a live National Geographic special right in front of their eyes. But it was close. It was close. But the deer did get away.
Deer have ridiculous reflexes unless you're coming at them at 60 miles an hour in a pickup truck at 2:00 in the morning. In that case, they'll just stare at you until you run them over. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Did I miss the dart throw? You have not missed the dart throw. I actually forgot. So what are the odds today? Am I going to put a hole in my wall or am I going to hit the dartboard today? Again, it's hard because like when you throw darts, normally it's like tight and just a push, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got a longer distance and I've got to go up and over, right?
You gotta get that Johnny Unitas pose.
Right. So here we go. Ooh. I think I actually got triple 10.
You know what? Ain't nobody can see that but you, Scott. As far as I'm concerned, I would be hitting the bullseye every single time. Nailed it.
No, because when I hit it for real, I want it to be real.
If you hit it for real, you'll probably freak out anyway. So
yeah, I hit a triple 10. So lower part of the board this time. So last time I was way up above. I hit the board, but it was like up by the 12. Now I'm down to the lower. Now I just got to zone in that little middle spot.
I would never understand. Like I will go throw darts if I used to. I say I would go. I probably wouldn't go now because it'd be out after 8 p.m. But I just never. Did I hit it? Yeah, cool. What did it score? Whatever. All right, awesome. Moving right along. Like it's not.
So you're talking to a guy who bartended and bounced for like 5 years.
Right.
What do you do with your downtime?
I mean, that's fair.
You either play pool, you throw darts, or you play pinball or the video games that happen to be at the bar. So I got pretty decent at like all of them. I didn't get great at any one of them, but I was decent at like most of it. The thing that we spent most of our time on was the video game NBA Jam. The 4-person.
He's on fire.
Yeah. Lots and lots of that. But we had a phase where it was a lot of darts. A lot of darts.
There was a daiquiri shop. It's still there, as a matter of fact, in Thibodeau when I was going to Nichols that had Cruising USA. Yeah.
The two. Was it a side-by-side or just a solo?
Just a solo, but we would use that at the end of the night to see who was driving home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was a great idea. I'm just telling you it's a thing that happened.
Yeah. My friends and I used to do that with Mario Kart, but we got so good at Mario Kart, we could do it half in the bag. So it wasn't a good test. So we have Lito in the chat, talking to Lynn, and apparently she is I'm sorry, I don't know.
Pretty
But
sure Lito's a
you're
girl.
close to making it to the CrossFit Games. So we will be rooting you on for sure. Hopefully, I get approval to do behind the scenes again this year, and I've got to be able to do behind the scenes in my hometown, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're talking to Joe, to Joe, I would stress that part of it. Hey, man, I'm already here.
Yeah, I can get some stuff ahead of time.
I'm already here. I'll be able to get like good sleep at night, get here early in the morning, like refreshed, ready to go, like get good stuff. As long as I have the correct amount of access, the entire weekend would be fantastic.
Would be. I did see.
Do I sound bitter about that? Because I wasn't even involved in that.
You weren't even there. Yeah. And it still came out well. Like I don't want to.
It did. It absolutely did.
It's a lot more work to like yell at people and have them come over to the side, as opposed to like just walking up to someone and asking them a question.
Right.
Solito is a female, 35 to 39. And according to Lynn, complete badass.
Well, if she's sitting in the 8th or 9th, then yeah, 100% she is. She's fitter than I am. That's for damn sure. Well, probably stronger than I am too. So
if you listened yesterday, I was talking about how some of the emails have gone out and are confirming people's workouts, right? And some of them are saying that, hey, due to public voting, we took a closer look and your video is good. And so Carolyn yesterday on her Instagram, she told us, but then she posted it, got all 5 confirmed.
Good.
But I don't know if you guys know this, because all 5 are good. Look who is now the winner of the 35 to 39-year-old division. She won the open, and now she won semis. And she texted us and said, "Can't wait to see you guys in Columbus." So
awesome.
There's Lito.
Yeah, right there.
There she is. Lito, are you from Greece? Is that Greece?
Caroline Klutz. That's the name I ain't seen forever.
I think Greece is one of the most beautiful places on earth.
I am fairly certain.
I actually scrolled over it and it told me it was Greece. So
Christine
Lynn says, "Holy isht." I didn't see that. What happened was she was in 4th before. I think she was in 3rd most of the time. But the people ahead of her got penalties. We went back and looked at the video to try to figure it out, because it was Stevie Dellinger. The only thing I think that they could have dinged her on the one workout was she moved her box and didn't remeasure the 5-foot section. And then on the last rep, she jumped off the box with both feet. And
that's definitely a no-go.
So, but that wouldn't have been a big penalty, but not measure it. She moved the box around and then didn't remeasure. That's the only thing. There might have been a soft elbow a time or two, but not anything that was like really, really bad. So I don't really know what happened with Stevie. And then with Sarah Alicia Fernandez Costas, I think is who was in 1st. Yeah. It looks like she miscounted her reps on a round and they stopped it at that point. Her score stopped.
Yeah, that's
she miscounted
thing this year.
And it was 1 burpee. She missed 1 burpee and then they stopped the workout where she missed the 1 burpee, which seemed harsh to me. But
that was That was the rules that they put out, though. I remember that being a big thing. Like, hey, if you miss a rep and you keep going, and it's like we figure out that's where you missed the rep, that's where your workout stops.
Lito, that's exactly what we saw. Is that Sarah did 29 of 30 burpees on her first round, and then they stopped it.
That's rough.
Yeah. Even Carolyn, who was competing for her for the win, was like, "That's too harsh." But yeah, it's such a silly mistake to make too. Like if you're the judge and you miscounted, you've got to be feeling awful.
Oh, 100%. Dude, my judges would go back and watch my stuff afterwards because Jeff's sitting there actually judging, counting reps, making sure I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And then Bernard was just kind of like hovering and watching stuff. And then for that one, as a matter of fact, Bernard went back and watched me lunge across the line for one rep. I don't remember which one it was, like 5 different times, because he was making sure that my feet, he was like, I mean, if they slow it down, I said, brother, you're not supposed to slow it down. He said, it kind of looks like both of your feet, like it looks like they are, but it could be interpreted. I said, it's not, no, could be interpreted. They either are or they aren't. But they were on top of that, making sure that, even that kind of stuff was, as it should be, I guess you could say. So I didn't get dinged for any kind of crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. Jamie moved up a spot since it was originally posted. So she's in 7th now. But she does not have all of hers verified. So it looks like they're still working on her age group with all of the reviews.
I started out in 85th. I went all the way up to 74th. Yesterday, I dropped back down to 80th. And this morning, I'm in 78th. So, like, whatever, I mean, they're definitely looking at him. There's definitely stuff going on. It's just wild to me that, like, up 11 spots, which that's people getting, like, zeroed out, right?
Yep.
Back down to 80. Okay, cool. That's, people putting scores back in. Awesome. So I expect it to happen. And then now I'm back in 78th. So that, to me, that means that somebody else's stuff got watched and like they got dinged completely out or something happened. I didn't pay enough attention to the people in front of me to see exactly what happened, but it's interesting to see how much movement has actually happened and will continue to, because we still got 5 days.
Yep. Lynn says, man, they'd have to pay me. That's so painful. At least she still is going to come to Masters, but ouch. Yeah. Thank goodness, like it only made her drop to the 20s because she's still in a qualifying spot. So yeah, cool there. Jay Birch, congratulations. Finished up the online L1 yesterday. So next year, give me a holler if you need a judge, Cory.
Love it. Appreciate you, Jeff.
That's awesome, cool. Dude. I love that he's fully credentialed and can do all the things.
I am extremely lucky and blessed to be surrounded by people who care about me, hold me to the standard, and like will give up an entire weekend just to come and basically just come watch me suffer for freaking 5 workouts plus or minus if I got to redo any of them. It's a pretty good feeling. It's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's amazing though how many people aren't credentialed, apparently, and doing.
It keeps happening.
I know. Are you kidding me?
It keeps happening. Like the thing at Mayhem was kind of a big deal, but then you look at it, and it's like that's not the only place that happened. Like it's a lot. So and what I don't understand is even if you're going to come in 125th place. Yeah, Lito, we're getting to that. Even if you're coming in 125th place, right? If I'm not going to get anyone anywhere close to that, whatever, you still, like if you're going to play, you still have to follow the rules. The same rules apply to everybody. So I don't look. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, Train to Live.
So much going on. So Bill Grundler's been mentioned 3 times just now.
Yeah.
Lito, Shay, what's going on, Shay? Glad you could be here. And Lynn. And then we have the impersonator, which is insane to me. And then they made the video not public, so now it's not a valid video anyway.
Regardless, one way or the other. Which
so
is admitting guilt, FYI. Like you just as soon have said, yeah, okay, no, that she's not actually who she said she was.
So the Grundler thing surprised me because someone who has been such an integral part to the ecosystem as he has been, like he should, neither him nor the other judge had their credentials. And he was seminar staff. He was an L2, like all
he
those
owns
things.
an affiliate.
Right. And as an affiliate owner, isn't it required that you or somebody that represents you has an L2? So, yeah. Well, along those lines, we got a comment after Sunday show, and it was from at John George 9423. And this goes to like what Denise talked about on the phone call about the fairness of them getting the exception, but others not in the past or even this year. So this is at John George 9423. As far as mayhem, I'm mixed. I had an issue with the submission that was fine when I submitted. Somewhere along the way, it was flagged for music infringement and someone flagged it as unviewable. I did not realize this because I could see it because it was mine. I received an email Friday at 9 p.m. letting me know I got a 0. It was a 16th. Workout number 3. I made the correction immediately. CrossFit emailed me back and said, based on rule number 2, blah, blah, it should have been fixed by 5 p.m. I didn't know until 9, so they couldn't cut me slack, but they can for this mayhem issue. So shame on me for not double checking late Friday. I don't blame athletes at Mayhem, but if you're going to have the ability to make exceptions, make it available for all potential issues. Shit happens. Just my opinion. Great show. So nothing was wrong. He followed all of the rules except for somebody flagged his video for music and copyright infringement.
I got 3 of mine are have music copyright infringement. It means they can't be viewed in some countries. Like,
right. But they made it unviewable worldwide.
Oh, that's a problem.
And so
but you don't.
And he went and he fixed it.
Yeah.
Once he knew it was a problem, he fixed it. But CrossFit said, too bad, you didn't follow rule number 2. You're out.
I will say this. I did. I went and made sure, and this kind of stuff drives me bananas. And I get it; they're trying to play the game, whatever. But the people that wait until Sunday at 4:00, and then I'm gonna go upload all my videos right now. I'm gonna upload all my score here because I don't want anybody to see what I did. They either gonna beat you or they ain't, bro. Period. Like, especially in that small window that we had to do 5 workouts. Like, I ain't had time to go watch anybody else's workout or try to go watch somebody else's workout and figure what they did. Like, I was focused on me. So if that's what ends up happening, all of them get uploaded, and then you end up getting flagged because for whatever reason, music, copyright infringement, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's not viewable here, there, or yonder. It sounds harsh, dude, but that's whose fault is that? Like, if you put it up when you do it, if it's a last minute thing that you have no control over, like I have to get this done or redone, whatever, and it's 3:00 on Sunday afternoon and they do it 5, okay, that's one thing. But if you got them all done, like we had since Thursday, I did my last one Sunday morning. I had it uploaded by noon Sunday.
So Lito says that's why I mute all my videos. It's a known problem that music gets dinged. Just mute in advance and upload early. There's also an option with the new versions of AI. You can actually go into your video once it's up and you can have it remove the music.
Yeah.
So it'll keep everything else, like your spoken word will stay, but all the music is gone. But you have to have it in time for that edit to happen, right?
Yeah.
But just put it up as private until you get that editing done.
Well, and then that's another good reason to hold up the board.
Yeah.
Beforehand with your name on it, judge's name, head, blah, all of that good stuff. So somebody can read it. So that if it does get flagged or has to get muted, then it's done. Yes. What Leo just said right there.
Yep.
Even YouTube offers the option to mute the copyrighted bit so that the video will still play. And it's just, you just won't hear that, which is fine.
They even give you the option to use their YouTube created music to put over top of the music that you're eliminating. So it doesn't look silly, right? There's so many options. Yeah, they have like YouTube creators that put out stuff that's royalty free, and it'll allow you to take that and just slap it right over whatever you're removing.
The part that I understand what the part he's saying, like, because it seems to be just a mayhem problem as far as the judges thing is concerned. And his is a more or less a technical failure, right? Still on him, but I would argue that the stuff that happened in mayhem is still on the athletes. Yeah, they got invited. It sucks for them. It absolutely does. But I am not going anywhere that I do not know 100%. Like if I'm trying to make the games, I'm trying to do as well as I can in this semifinal stage so I can keep advancing, keep getting better. I am going to make damn good and sure that the people that are going to be taking, basically taking my athletic career, whatever you want to call it, into their hands, have everything they're supposed to have. Maybe I'm that dude, but
do we know if Grundler's athletes got the same thing that Mayhem did?
I have absolutely no idea. All that I haven't dug I dug down into that as far as that is concerned. I just saw that people were saying that Bill didn't. The fact that he's not come out and addressed it, not anywhere that I've seen anyway, is kind of weird, I would think, because he's so well known. He is such a face and a voice in all of the things that, for like we were saying the other day, dude, I know, like when your L1 is up. You just know. All of ours as coaches are printed on the gym, like the print versions in frames with our little picture next to it at the gym. So I can go look at it whenever I want to, along with anybody else. And I can tell you that, yep, mine expires in 2026.
Yeah, when I was coaching at my previous gym, we all had our certificates on the wall. And you could look at the expiration date of all of them. Train to Live is verifying judge credentials will be added to everything else, i.e. cameras, backup batteries, extra cords. All of that. When I was doing the documentary on Rudy Berger, like he has a team that has like 3 cameras. They have 3 cameras on every workout. In case one goes down, they've got 2 others. Like, it is insane the amount of steps they take.
Dude, last year for quarterfinals, I was doing that the 3 rounds, 50 wall balls, 50 burpee box jump overs workout, and I was halfway through my second round of burpee box jump overs when one of my partners said, "Hey, this camera is not on." And I was 100% my fault. Instead of putting it on do not disturb, I just put it on airplane mode, thinking it would be the same thing. And I got a spam call in the middle of my workout that killed the video.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that was a horrible workout to have to redo halfway. I did it 1.5 times. It's absolutely terrible. But what I'm gonna do, like,
hopefully they'll add it for individuals at least. if you're an individual athlete after what you've just seen and you have not learned from this fiasco,
100%.
like when it comes your
That's
turn,
what
you better be going down the checklist and making sure all of the stuff.
That is 100% on you at this point. If you can see all this stuff that's going on and not have all your ducks in a row by the time it's time to go.
Yeah. Insane. Man, yeah. So much is happening. I can't wait till these 5 days are over though. Like I'm stressed and I'm not even an athlete. Like I'm stressed for Jamie, for you, for Lido, for all these people that are like waiting for that final, like, okay, you're good to go. Like I kept texting Jamie, did you get any more emails? Did you get any more emails? Hey Jamie, did you get any more emails?
Hey, you heard anything from HQ? Email? Yeah. I will say I'm excited that I have not gotten anything from HQ whatsoever, which means that either my videos are good or nobody's looked at them.
Yeah,
probably the second one.
My guess is they're focused on that like top 35-ish.
I'm hoping, yeah, somewhere top 50, let's say, somewhere up in that area.
Yeah. They're not worried about 78 right now.
No, thank God. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm good where I'm at. I am back to normal training as of this week. Still trying to learn how to swim.
You know what the threshold is.
I would love to know what the threshold
is. Review.
I would absolutely. And I don't think we ever will. Unless somebody goes and like, that'll be one hell of an analytical deep dive to like see how many downvotes a video got. Like you'd have to go through everybody's stuff, see how many down they got, and see if they got reviewed. I don't even know how you'd be able to tell if it got reviewed at that point.
Well, the only person who knows is the athlete because they get the email that tells them it was reviewed.
Right. So you'd have to put a poll out, talk to those people, see how many they got, see how many they were at when they got the trigger, when they got the email that said it was, and that I think you're still coming out with basically an educated guess at that point. If I was CrossFit, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna do this again next year, if I was CrossFit, I wouldn't tell a single soul because all that does is open up the floodgates for. Well, good job.
So Halpin says he's doing that review outside, looking in, and those that show a scoring adjustment, how many votes they had. Yeah, but what it won't tell you is the people that got reviewed and didn't get a score change.
Right.
So Alito said, all my emails said, following public reviews, your video was accepted. Yeah, I know there's 2 emails. Like Carolyn got some that said, based on public voting, we did a further review of your video and your video has been accepted. And then others said, hey, workout number 3 was accepted. And they leave out the other part. And she had 3 that had deeper dives and 2 that were just accepted. But all of them were accepted. So she had no score change. So like that won't show up on Mike's spreadsheet.
Right.
Right. Even though 3 of them were reviewed.
Anyway, like I was saying, if I'm CrossFit, I'm keeping that number as close to the best as possible. I hope that doesn't leak out because next year it would just make it would cause that much more of an issue where people knew that, oh, well, if you get 15 downvotes, your video is going to get immediately reviewed. Well, then people are just going to, human nature at that point. Some people, I would say, are just going to go in there and just get people to just go downvoted until it gets reviewed, no matter what, whether if it's good or not.
Yeah,
I think that's a Pandora's box.
Jake says that window behind Cory is really far away. How big is that room? You don't know. My boy is big wigging it. He's got the big office.
Got the big closet.
We've got the corner office with the view of the mountains.
The view of the mountains right here in South Louisiana.
There you go. So they were considering the video reviews. So what they did is they determined if it met a certain threshold, they got a further review. That's how they considered the votes to do the video reviews, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Halpin said, I would also be able to see a high number needs review that didn't have a score change, which is also interesting as it means the community voted improperly according to HQ. Correct. Yeah. That's going to take a lot of work, man. More power.
Which we know happened.
Yeah, we do.
I can promise you that happened.
Well, Workout 4 has a ton of downvotes. That lunge, like everybody dinged. So it's interesting.
Ronnie was saying yesterday, I don't remember where I saw it at, but like there was 2 different standards shown in the video as far as the lunge is concerned, like how to and turning around. So,
but I think a lot of people felt like people didn't come to full extension at the top. Because you're trying to go fast, right? So you're like up and trying to hit extension and go right back down as quickly as you can. And usually just because of the pure space that took, you don't have a really great angle to see that extension on video.
No, and not all angles are created the same. So like I had to make do because of how our gym is set up. Like it didn't make any sense to me to set it up like they asked to set it up. So I had to kind of move stuff around as far as that's concerned, to get to 15 feet, make sure you could see the dumbbell and make sure you could see the box that I was going to be jumping over, and then make sure the box is 5 feet away from where the dumbbell is. I got done with my last snatch. I just tossed the dumbbell.
Well, that's what happened. So that's what happened in Stevie Dellinger's video. They put the stuff there, they measured it all, and then they were seeing, can you see this? Can you see that? And then they kept moving the box to make sure you could see both sides of the box. Never came
after
back
they measured it,
and then measured it after they moved it. So I'm thinking, and again, there's no comment to tell you why it was changed or why they did it. So you're just going on pure assumption. But my assumption is because she didn't remeasure the distance from the dumbbell to the box, they gave her a penalty.
I tell you what I did is I marked, when I measured from the dumbbell to the box, I put a tape mark where I was going to put the dumbbell so that, hey, this is my 5 foot. This is a tape mark. Like here's a line I'm starting behind. Here's a tape mark behind the line, which my dumbbell is going to sit on at the very least. But I did that last snatch, dude, and I got it further away from the box because I didn't want to have any kind of reason for somebody to go, oh well, his dumbbell is right there by the box, while he's doing these box jump overs.
Lito, she's asking, assuming Stevie would have gotten the reason for the penalty in her email. I would assume that, but I've not seen one where there's been a scoring adjustment to know if it was spelled out for the athlete. But I believe in years past, it does say. The other thing, like where her dumbbell was, and I'm not trying to pick on Stevie. I think she's a great athlete, and she just happened to get a scoring adjustment that I saw that affected Carolyn's standing. So it's not that I'm picking on her at all. She also used a chalk line for the dumbbell instead of tape, and it was like handwritten. So it was a squiggly, but I don't think that would have affected it because the chalk line was there from beginning to end. It didn't like get erased in any form or fashion. Lito said, if you look at Sarah's email, said that she only did 29 burpees if you look at her stories. Yeah, I thought so. In years past, CrossFit has usually pointed out why they've given you a penalty.
I thought that rule was kind of harsh, but if for no other reason that, okay, add a second to my score, to my time. You know,
That's
don't
where it
just
gets tricky though.
I mean, if you
Because
did 29 all 3 rounds, that's one thing. But if you did 29 one round and
but
then
where do
30
you
the next
draw the
round,
line of, hey, it takes a second? Because there is a buildup of fatigue,
fatigue. Oh,
things like that
absolutely.
that affect the moves after. And so that's all arbitrary at that point.
I don't disagree.
But I do think it's harsh for one burpee to stop the workout. Bam.
Well, especially if it's at like if it's in your first round, dude, like you still got 2 more rounds to go. Like now your score is
Stevie was given a 1 minute and 40-second penalty, which moved her from 2nd to 15th overall. Yeah, we looked at all that yesterday, and she's still going to the games as long as everything else is accepted. And she's gonna be great at the games. She's a great athlete, and she's probably going to compete with Caroline and Caroline Klutz and all of those ladies for the championship. So, like, she's still going, and someone as fit as Stevie is going to be fine.
Yeah. Just rough. It's interesting now that everybody can see all the things, no matter what. And like, so I mean, when you talk about public forum, dude, like we are now very much a public forum. Especially being able to see that no, this needs review, that's unviewable completely. This person's not even the person they said they were whenever they got on the thing. That was insane, by the way.
Yeah, I think the fear of getting judged over your video made people do the best they could to meet all the standards.
I would say that, but yeah, dude, for me, like
Lito said, not all reps are created equal. One burpee isn't the same as one jump rope, or which isn't the same as one rope climb.
Correct. Absolutely.
Carolyn made the point yesterday, like if I miss a double under, do you stop the workout for one double under? And so you're right. Like they're not created equal, but by this standard, wherever you missed a rep, it ends.
Right there.
Yep. Golly. And double unders are the worst to count.
Not my favorite thing to do.
Man, I would do 5 extra just in case.
Not my favorite thing to do. I'll go until my judge tells me to stop. I'm not even, I'm counting in my head, but like, even if I get it, like I do 15 and they say I'm at 48, then okay, we doing 2 more or however many it is. Like, I'm not stopping until they tell me good, and I will roll on through with it because I'm not getting dinged for that. I'm the same way, dude. I did for the open, the thruster, pull up, chest bar thing. I because I can't count. I did 21 or 20 chest bar or 20 pull-ups to start off with, and my judge was like, "Hey man, you need to do another pull-up." Like, yeah, I probably do. Took 10, did another one, and went on about my business.
What I've learned is get a good judge that you trust, that's willing to tell you when you've done it wrong, that's willing to tell you didn't count right, because the
100%
ramifications of that are so big now. So big.
100%. It's just not, it's not worth having to redo it, especially if you end up with it like if nothing else goes wrong, right? And like you said, you missed 2 double unders or you miscounted a burpee or something like that, and nothing else goes wrong during that workout. You got a phenomenal score. And then you go back and look at the video and you go, oh shit, I got to do this again. Like, that's demoralizing at that point.
And have someone look at your video before you submit it. Like say, hey,
oh,
look
yeah,
at this comb and tell me, did I miss anything along the way?
Telling you, dude, Bernard, God bless him and Jeff, they took my camera away from me after I got done and went back and, all right, show me.
Train to Live. Guess this shows having a judge taking courses and having an L1 maybe isn't that important.
I mean, he ain't wrong.
I think it's overkill, but sure. An L1, while it helps you understand the methodology of CrossFit in the best way possible, does not teach you how to judge a competition.
No. I know people who have their L1s who have no business judging anybody whatsoever. It is also that because you have an L1 and you know what good movement is supposed to look like, does not mean that you move well or know what good movement is supposed to look like.
Denise says, I got a penalty on workout 3, and it was a correct penalty. Did your email tell you why you got the penalty, Denise? Lito, I feel like the advanced course should have had a lot more counting in it. My thing with the videos are you need to video an elite athlete going at elite speed. That's what people need practice with.
Yeah. Not whoever they had, Joe Bob from down the street. I mean, yeah, he was moving well, but.
Then he said, yeah, great explanation too.
Good. That's encouraging. Well, that's encouraging.
I hate to cut this party short. Wednesdays, we always seem to run over. And I've got a 1:30 meeting and I need to eat something.
I don't know why.
That. So, and I'll leave it on this. Jay Birch, competition movement is different than gym movement. Yes, it is. My
100%.
first judging experience at regionals, and it was team, my first judging experience. Holy cow. When they started moving, I was like, I have never been in this ball game before.
These are not normal human beings. What's happening right now?
Right. And that was the team competition.
Yeah.
And I was outside lane. Like I was new. So I didn't get any of the preferential treatment.
Dude, the first time I saw elite athletes move in person, or even back when that's watching Scott Panchek at Legends this past year, dude, like there's elite athletes and then there's the Scott Pancheks of the world. I would not have wanted to, I mean, I say that. Judging him probably is fairly easy because he moves so well, but he's also moving so fast the entire time. Like you got to keep up.
Yep.
So yeah, to those of you who do that elite judging, God bless y'all. I wouldn't want to do it. There's no way.
Well, don't forget tonight, 5 p.m., Cats Catching Feelings. She said it's going to be a wild show. She had a first date last night. She had a wild night Friday night with the girls' night out. So she's going to share all of that tonight. Make sure you check in to that 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then tomorrow, I just started watching behind the scenes of Mayhem that I think Taylor did for Savan. I'm about 15 minutes in so far. Pretty cool. But I'll let you know how the whole episode goes tomorrow when we get back here for Lunch with the Clydesdale. With that, time to get back to work, you knuckleheads. Lunchtime is over. We'll see you next time. Lunch with the Clydesdale.